Is it recording?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, B. Changzing. My name is Mike Warwick. Our group did the presentation on Apple and the country of South Korea. I'll be doing the sections on family life, view on Americans, general rules, and then I'll be concluding. To start off, I want to talk a little bit about the family life. It's a very unique way they do things. The father and son relationship is very unique. The father and son relationship, the son owes so much obedience to the father, and it's almost in honor of their ancestors, the way they used to do things. Like I said earlier, very, very strict family life. The first son is his goal in life as a young kid is to carry out the family name. When he becomes older enough or the father begins to pass away, he will inherit the house, will inherit the land, and like I said earlier, carry out the name. Also, the oldest son is responsible for all the rituals in the family and all the responsibilities like the ancestors left behind. Very big on following footsteps of the ancestors. View on Americans. This one was actually kind of hard to find, but they are very discriminative towards foreigners. It could be any foreigner that come into their country. A while ago, they didn't have any immigrants at all. But one thing that did say that they tend to think that accomplishments linked to a certain ethnicity are, I messed that up horribly, 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 horribly. I was kind of doing okay, pushing on time. Thank you, B. Changzing. My name is Mike Warwick. We did our presentation on Apple and out of the country, South Korea. The sections I'll be going over is the family life, the views on Americans, the gender roles, and then I'll be concluding at the end. I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about the family life. It's a very unique family life, the way they go about doing things. The father and son relationship is very. Dude, I'm going to throw something. I cannot do this. Thank you, B. Changzing. My name is Mike Warwick. We did our presentation on Apple out of South Korea. The sections I'll be going over are the last ones. The family life, I'll be covering that. View on Americans. Also, I'll be going over gender rules, and then I'll be concluding. To start off, I want to talk a little bit about the family life. The father and son relationship is very unique. The son owes so much obedience to the father at all times. It doesn't matter. It could be the firstborn, the secondborn, it doesn't matter. Very obedient to their father. Like I said earlier, it's a very, very strict family life in terms of what they do, how they carry things out in their family traditions. Also, the first son, the firstborn, is supposed to carry out the name of the family, and when the father passes away, he will end up inheriting the house, the land, and everything like that. Also, the oldest son, the firstborn, he's most responsible for the rituals that they carry out in the family. That's mostly to honor the ancestors. They're very big on honoring their ancestors. Next is view on Americans. This one was kind of difficult to find, but they are very openly discriminative towards foreigners. At one point, they actually had no foreigners in their country. But one thing that they said about how they view Americans is that a person's accomplishment is linked to their entire ethnicity. For example, the one example I saw research was that if a Caucasian male was very rich and very successful, then they would think that all Caucasian males are rich and successful. And if an African American male were to always steal and very poor, then they would think that all African Americans are will steal and very poor. Next is the gender roles. Found this one kind of interesting because in the past of the Koreans, the women were not to be seen in public. They had a very small time that they were allowed to go out in public and run errands and things like that. They had to be covered from head to toe. Males were not allowed to see them. Now, in current time in Korea, women are not known to go to universities, and if they are, they don't score as high as males do. Also, Men are more likely to be hired over women in the workforce. Lastly, they still do a lot of discriminating towards women. And then here is a couple pictures of a Korean family now and a Korean family in the past, just to kind of show you how things have changed in terms of the way they dress now and everything. To conclude, Apple's the most valued company in the world. After what everyone talked about, it's going to be difficult to become familiar with their cultures and things like that in Korea, with the way they do business and how they do the everyday norms. And that's going to be it for the conclusion. I was at 3. Did I sound rushed at the end?